For decades, Bernard L. Madoff was a Wall Street legend, a financial wizard, a pioneer in electronic trading, and a former NASDAQ chairman. His reputation for steady, reliable returns drew investors from all walks of life: banks, hedge funds, retirees, and charities. Madoff's firm was seen as an exclusive club. You had to be invited in, making clients feel privileged and secure. He promised consistent gains year after year, regardless of market turmoil. In a volatile world, his business appeared unshakable, a fortress of wealth. But in December 2008, the illusion shattered. The trusted steward of billions was exposed as a fraud. Madoff's celebrated firm was a hollow shell, hiding the largest Ponzi scheme in history. $65 billion in fictitious wealth vanished overnight, leaving devastation in its wake. The man hailed as a genius was in truth a master of deceit. The revelation sent shockwaves through finance and beyond. How could one man fool so many for so long? The Madoff story is more than financial crime. It's a lesson in trust, greed, and the dangers of unchecked belief. His collapse exposed deep flaws in the system meant to protect investors. It forced a reckoning with the very nature of financial integrity. Madoff's name became synonymous with betrayal on an epic scale. The world would never look at Wall Street the same way again. This is the story of how the mask fell and what it revealed. Bernard Madoff started with humble roots in Queens, New York. After college, he launched his own firm in 1960 with just $5,000. Madoff's early business was legitimate, acting as a market maker for over-the-counter stocks. He embraced technology, helping his firm grow and earning a reputation for reliability. His influence soared as he became a key figure in the creation of NASDAQ, even serving as its chairman. This public role gave him immense credibility and trust. Madoff sat on SEC advisory committees, further cementing his status as a Wall Street insider. The legitimate side of his business provided the perfect cover for his secret fraud. People believed that if the NASDAQ chairman could be trusted, so could his firm. His insider status created an illusion of legitimacy. Behind the scenes, a fraudulent operation was quietly taking shape. At the heart of Madoff's crime was a classic Ponzi scheme. He promised steady, believable returns, paying old investors with money from new ones. Madoff's investment advisory business, hidden on a separate floor, was the center of the fraud. He claimed to use a complex trading strategy, but in reality, no trades occurred. Client money was simply deposited into a single bank account. Fake statements showed steady growth, even during market turmoil. The returns weren't outrageous, just plausible enough to avoid suspicion. Madoff relied on exclusivity and word of mouth, making his funds seem even more desirable. Potential investors were often turned away, fueling demand. Clients were told not to discuss their investments, deepening the secrecy. Feeder funds funneled billions his way. For years, the illusion held. As long as new money flowed in, the scheme thrived. Madoff's reputation as a financial genius only grew. No one suspected the entire operation was built on lies. For decades, Madoff's scheme survived market crashes and even SEC investigations. But the 2008 global financial crisis changed everything. As panic spread, investors rushed to withdraw their money. Redemption requests soared to $7 billion, far more than Madoff had. The central bank account was drained, new investments dried up. For the first time, Madoff couldn't meet withdrawals. The scheme's fatal flaw was exposed. It depended entirely on new money. The paper fortunes on client statements were revealed as fiction. Madoff was trapped, unable to generate fake returns or honor redemptions. The system collapsed under its own weight. The wizard had run out of tricks. With nowhere left to turn, Madoff faced the truth. The end had come for the world's most infamous Ponzi scheme. The collapse was swift and total. The illusion was finally, irreversibly broken. With the scheme unraveling, Madoff confessed to his sons in December 2008. He admitted the investment business was a giant Ponzi scheme, estimating losses at $50 billion. His sons, shocked, immediately reported him to authorities. The next day, the FBI arrested Madoff in his Manhattan apartment. When asked for an explanation, he replied, "There is no innocent explanation." News of his arrest sent shockwaves worldwide. Investigators uncovered decades of lies and fake statements. In March 2009, Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 federal felonies. He admitted to defrauding thousands of investors. In June, Judge Denny Chin sentenced him to 150 years in prison. The sentence was symbolic. Madoff would die behind bars. The man who once embodied Wall Street prestige became its greatest cautionary tale. His fall was complete, his legacy forever tarnished. Madoff's collapse was a human tragedy, not just a financial one. Victims included ordinary people, teachers, retirees, and small charities, who lost everything. Lifelong savings vanished overnight. Dreams of retirement were destroyed. Charities like the Eli Wiesel Foundation lost their entire endowments. The ripple effects crippled social programs and devastated communities. Some victims, overwhelmed by loss, took their own lives. Madoff's own family suffered. His son Mark died by suicide, Andrew from cancer. The betrayal was deeply personal. Madoff preyed on friends, family, and his own community. Trust was shattered, not just in one man, but in the system itself. The pain and loss lingered for years. The true cost of Madoff's crime was measured in broken lives and lost faith. The scars remain long after the money disappeared. The Madoff scandal exposed catastrophic failures in financial oversight. The SEC ignored repeated warnings, missing the largest Ponzi scheme in history. This regulatory collapse led to outrage and sweeping reforms, including the Dodd-Frank Act. Madoff's clients trusted him blindly, drawn by his reputation and the promise of steady returns. Many ignored red flags, lack of transparency, outdated statements, a tiny auditing firm. Their desire for certainty overrode skepticism. The lesson: if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Madoff's fall is a timeless warning. No one is above scrutiny. It forced a reckoning with trust, greed, and the need for vigilant oversight. In the end, the truth emerged, leaving a legacy of pain and a call for vigilance.